Police say a Southern Kentucky man murdered his father. Today we're learning new disturbing details about the case.
New details on the victim of a deadly crash in Lexington, what we know about the person killed ahead.
And the day after zombies invaded downtown, people are doing some last-minute cleaning before Breeders' Cup events tonight.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 4:30.
Good afternoon on this Monday. Sam, Dick, and Amber Philpott reporting. We are learning some new details in a gruesome discovery in a Southern Kentucky garage.
Police say a man's body was found buried under concrete, and now his son is charged with his murder. Jedediah Lee Van Wormer made a court appearance this morning. He's charged with killing his father, Edward Van Wormer, who was reported missing last month. WKYT's Phil Pendleton has details on the new information in the case. It's our top story at 4:30.
Police tell us that 26-year-old Jedediah Van Wormer was found in North Carolina and charged with the murder of his father after the elder man's body was found buried under concrete in the front of his garage. Court documents state that Jedediah's girlfriend told police that Jedediah killed his father, Edward Van Wormer. The elder man was reported missing under suspicious circumstances on September 15th. He had not been seen since early August. Police say Jedediah even called them pretending to be his father. Other relatives became suspicious and said some of Edward's belongings were missing. A search warrant was executed. The man's body was discovered under concrete in the front of the main garage on the 23rd of September. Police say that Edward Van Wormer died of a gunshot wound. Jedediah Van Wormer and his girlfriend Amanda Braddock lived in the home of Jedediah's father. I am told that both Jedediah and Braddock were found in North Carolina and extradition was ordered. Jedediah appeared in court this morning where he pleaded not guilty, and a preliminary hearing was set for November 4th. In Pulaski County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
Neighbors told police that both Jedediah Van Wormer and Amanda Braddock were seen removing property from Edward Van Wormer's home. Police say that was done in an attempt to conceal evidence. A Madison County road remains closed this afternoon after a deadly crash. This is some new video just in our newsroom. That crash happened around 1 on Meadowbrook Road near the EKU farm just east of Richmond. Police say a car dropped off the side of the road and hit a utility pole. One person died at the scene. Another was airlifted to the hospital. We'll have a report from Madison County ahead on WKYT News at 5. The pleasant temperatures of last week long gone as we start out a new work week on a very cool note.
Sounds like we need to get used to this for at least the next couple of days. Rain chances and wind ramping up as we go into tomorrow. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey. Chris, how about it?
Yeah, next few days, guys. We've been setting the stage for this for more than a week, that a big storm system would likely be rolling our way with heavy rain and wind. And here we go. Defender starting to pick up on some of the first rains coming out of Southern Kentucky. This is generally very, very light as of right now. That will change up, though, as we go into later tonight, and certainly for the day on Tuesday and into Wednesday, too. What Defender is tracking, maybe a few sprinkles here across parts of central Kentucky. The farther south and southwest that we go, now we begin to pick up on rains that are becoming very steady from Knoxville over toward Nashville and down into parts of Mississippi and Alabama, all being pushed by this very, very photogenic area of low pressure across Louisiana. The pipeline of moisture is set up on the eastern side of that. Look at that juice that's coming right off the Gulf of Mexico, being thrown all the way into the north toward the Tennessee Valley. What does that mean for Kentucky? Well, widespread rain moves into town over the next few days. A few thunderstorms will increase as well, and those winds will get very, very gusty. We could be talking about gusts over the next 36 hours of 30 to 40 miles per hour. What about what comes after this as we inch closer to Breeders' Cup / Halloween weekend? Well, there's another storm system that I'm tracking, and with anything in life, guys, it's all about the timing, and we'll time it all out for you with the 7-day forecast here in 10 minutes.
Chris, thank you. We now know the name of the woman killed in a Lexington crash this past weekend. It happened last night on Briar Hill Road near North Cleveland Road. The coroner says that 77-year-old Helen Watson was the passenger in a car that crashed into a tree. The driver was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Congressman Andy Barr recently made a top-secret trip to the Middle East.
He was the only member of the House to go, and as Alex Miller reports, he was extremely busy.
1 week, 7 cities. Congressman Andy Barr made trips to some of the biggest countries dominating our headlines right now. He met with government officials and our military leaders in Iraq, Jordan, and Afghanistan, just to name a few. As a member of the Terrorism Financing Task Force, Barr says it was important to find out how we're combating terrorism in terms of our military, but also how we're doing in terms of taking on those financing terrorism. He says the trip showed him just how important the U.S. is to the region.
American leadership is desperately needed in the world. There is a cost and there is a high price to American retreat.
Barr says Obama made a grave mistake in withdrawing troops from Iraq, but says the president's recent decision to keep troops in Afghanistan was the right move. Congressman Barr also traveled to Israel and the West Bank, where he met with opposing leaders. His takeaway, the two sides have some overlapping interests, and the U.S. should be facilitating conversations between the two. Reporting in Washington, I'm Alex Miller.
For the first time, Keeneland is hosting the prestigious Breeders' Cup this Friday and Saturday. At least 40,000 people a day are expected at the track. But the economic impact goes way beyond the betting and racing. In a story we're working on for WKYT at 6, an estimated $65 million will be spent on everything from hotels, restaurants, tours, shopping, and travel for the Breeders' Cup. It's a great opportunity to show off the city to visitors from around the world. And some business owners are taking advantage of the opportunity. Debbie Long, for example, over at Dudley's, says her restaurant is sold out Thursday through Saturday, including Friday, when one Kentucky horse farm has reserved the entire restaurant for the evening.
For a restaurateur and a restaurant to be able to do that kind of a party is, that's just like the ultimate goal, to be able to have a captivated audience, and you create this beautiful menu, and they're here to enjoy the whole night.
The more publicity we can get to show what we're doing here, the better. And having the Breeders' Cup here, I think, is just amazing to have them here and to be able to show what Lexington can do, the fine products we have, and the fine chefs we have in the city.
And tonight at 6 on WKYT, more on how big of an impact in dollars and cents the Breeders' Cup will make on this city and how Lexington is rolling out the red carpet for out-of-town visitors. Expect a lot of folks coming in this week.
Now, we know the weather is going to be a little bit different than in past Breeders' Cup, but is the city of Lexington really doing anything different for Breeders' Cup?
You know, Amber, I think in a lot of other cities where they've had the Breeders' Cup, Santa Anita in California, Churchill Downs, of course, in Louisville, they've had it more than once. Here, this is a first, so this is a big deal. The parties and the celebrations and the concerts actually started last night with the Thriller Parade and the Mummies performing. But to give you an idea, you know, all week long there's something going on. This is an 18-page spread out of the Herald Leader, the Breeders' Cup at Keeneland. So this is a huge deal. And yeah, I know we have a football game Saturday, Commonwealth and Halloween, but this is mega. This is huge. It's historic for Lexington.
And that's a great guide to let you know everything you need to know for sure.
Yeah.
All right, Sam, thank you. Well, the day after Lexington's Thriller Parade, zombies and survivors came together to tidy up downtown as part of their final preparations for the Breeders' Cup. Community members were provided with gloves, bags, and trash pickers to clean up any trash left over from the parade. The cleanup was sponsored by several downtown organizations.
It's everybody's role to help keep Lexington beautiful all year round, and especially when we have guests coming from all over the world to see us. So if you see a piece of trash, bend down and pick it up.
There will be 2 stages set up this week for live music in downtown Lexington at Cheapside Park and the Courthouse Plaza. Tonight's performances include Lexington's own guitar phenomenon Ben Lacey and T.D. Young, a blues singer from right here in Lexington as well. And be sure to join us on the CW Lexington tomorrow and Wednesday morning from 7 to 10 for breakfast at the Breeders' Cup. We'll have in-depth coverage to get you ready for the big weekend of racing.
A prominent Lexington attorney and former Fayette County District Judge has died. 68-year-old John Famularo was a partner at Stites and Harbison for more than 40 years. In the 1970s, he successfully argued before the U.S. Supreme Court in a boundary dispute case between Ohio and Kentucky. The Herald Leader says Famularo was inducted into the UK College of Law Hall of Fame this past June. A funeral mass for Famularo will be tomorrow at 11 at the Cathedral of Christ the King. Now, we have been talking about it for months, and now it is finally here, Breeders' Cup Week.
Our Deanne Stevens is out and about today, joining us from Keeneland with more. Hi, Deanne.
Good afternoon, guys. We are here in the Saddling Paddock Chalet. You've seen it, definitely seen it if you've been here for the meet, the fall meet of Keeneland. And it's a place where it's going to be packed here come Friday and Saturday. Breeders' Cup Week finally here. Kara Heisenbuttel is with us. What is the Saddling Paddock Chalet? What are we going to see in here in the coming days?
So the Saddling Paddock Chalet is another dining area for our patrons. So Friday and Saturday we've sold tickets, and this is luxury views and accommodations you're seeing right here on the Saddling Paddock to see all of the Breeders' Cup horses.
I was going to say, you have a first-rate little area to watch all the horses here, and then you can sit down and eat and drink and enjoy the day.
It's arguably one of the best seats in the house, my opinion.
I would agree.
There are buffets in here, betting, wagering. The races will be on the TVs, so we have all the accommodations that you need.
Any chance that we'll get to come in here maybe spring meet too, or is this all going to be gone?
You know.
Oh, I'm not allowed to ask that. All right, sorry about that. Anyway, Kara, so many opportunities for folks who don't have, not everybody has tickets to Breeders' Cup.
Sure.
So many opportunities, though, going on all this week for them to take part in.
Absolutely. They can come out and watch morning workouts until Wednesday. And then on Thursday, we have Prelude to the Cup Day, which is a dress rehearsal for Keeneland. You can see the place all fitted out for Breeders' Cup.
I was going to say that Prelude to the Cup. Is that a family kind of thing, or is that a couple thing, or do they need to get tickets? How does that work?
You know, there's a little bit of something for everybody. Ticket prices range. We start with $5 general admission up into nice accommodations, as you see here, that are available.
So many things for you to take part in this week. It's such an exciting week happening here in Lexington, specifically right here at Keeneland. I'm Deanne Stevens, out and about. Back to you guys.
It is a great view, Deanne. Thank you. Supergirl takes to the skies as TV's newest crime fighter, and Justin Bieber wins big at the 2015 MTV European Music Awards.
Suzanne Marquez has your eye on entertainment.
Does it shock you to see?
Singer Pharrell Williams got the crowd on its feet with his opening performance at the 2015 MTV European Music Awards show last night in Milan. Justin Bieber won 5 awards, including Best Male Performer. Macklemore and Ryan Lewis won Video of the Year.
I'm here on the set of Supergirl, which premieres tonight on CBS. These are the offices of Catco Worldwide Media, where Supergirl's alter ego, Kara Danvers, spends her days.
Melissa Benoist plays Supergirl, who is forced to leave planet Krypton. She grows up with a foster family and uses her superhuman abilities to protect Earth.
She kicks butt. She can be a little bit of a sassy pants and just fight her.
You're her. Yep. Supergirl airs tonight at 8 p.m. right here on CBS. Drew Barrymore and Toni Collette were in New York last night for the premiere of Miss You Already. It's a tale about best friends going through life's ups and downs. Barrymore's character, Jess, tries to get pregnant while her best friend Millie battles cancer.
It honors what a family would go through when you're trying to figure out how to deal with the toughest stuff and how to deal with the biggest aspirations of life and everything in between.
Miss You Already hits theaters next Friday. That's your Eye on Entertainment. Suzanne Marquez, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Tonight's show host Jimmy Fallon has injured his right hand. He tripped and fell during an event in his honor at Harvard University. Fallon received the Harvard Lampoon's Elmer Award for Excellence in Humor Saturday. A spokeswoman said Fallon tripped over a woman and fell onto broken glass during the reception. He was taken to Massachusetts General Hospital. Doctors checked to make sure that there was no glass in his hand. He was able to return to the party a short time later. In June, Fallon nearly lost a finger on his left hand after a kitchen accident. He had to endure a 6-hour surgery and 10 days in the intensive care unit. More like fall out there, and I know a lot of us are keeping our fingers crossed about the end of the week. Yeah. So much is happening, later this week.
We have such a great city. We want to show it off the best way we can. We don't want bad weather, Chris Bailey.
You know what, guys? Here we spent most of October talking about how beautiful the pattern has been. We get to this big week when all eyes are on the city of Lexington and Kentucky, and then we get into a very active weather pattern. That active pattern really kicking off today, starting to see rain that is increasing across the south. That's why our temperatures are a little cooler. Jackson and Corbin right now, 58 degrees, right around 60 across parts of the Lexington metro. We're looking at Defender, and right now it's a lot more bark than actual actual bite coming from Defender. A lot of the drops that you're seeing into central Kentucky not reaching the ground. You got to go especially down the BG Parkway toward the I-65 corridor to find rains reaching the ground. Eventually, though, we're going to see everybody getting in on the rainy and windy weather later tonight and certainly into the day tomorrow. New hour-by-hour forecast coming your way in just a few minutes. Right now, let's get a check on the traffic situation in Lexington. Here is Officer Don.
There's a collision inbound Nicholasville Road at Man-O-War. That is a non-injury collision. We have one lane blocked inbound Nicholasville just before Man-O-War. There's also a crash this afternoon. It looks like in Man-O-War and Gladman Way. That has one lane of the outer loop blocked. Now back to you in the studio.
Fall foliage is now for sale, and an owl that ended up in a tight spot. It's the video that will have you talking. Take a look at this.
If you're missing the rich colors of fall, there is a website that can help you with that. ShipFoliage.com will send you authentic New England foliage for $19.99. The cost includes 3 preserved leaves that the company says will last for years. But you know, here in Kentucky, Amber, we've got lots of beautiful trees and leaves out there changing colors.
Yeah. Well, an owl survived quite the long haul after being hit by a semi, and take a look, getting caught in the truck's grill. The driver of the truck noticed the bird after stopping for breakfast yesterday morning. He said he remembered an owl flying by his truck during the night, but had not realized that the bird was stuck. The Division of Natural Resources responded, and they were able to rescue the bird. It suffered several injuries, but they are hopeful that that bird will survive. Owls, such beautiful creatures there.
Amazing it's going to live, probably. All right, much more to come now on WKYT at 5 o'clock.